Hi everyone, Dave Flint from Flintart, Australia. Today we're going to be drawing a sea creature called a manatee. To do that we're going to start with the number 3. So a bit unusual, a number to start drawing a sea creature, but that's what we're doing. You don't need a lot to do this activity. All you need is something to draw with and some colouring in implements such as coloured pencils, textures or markers or pastels or even crayons or even watercolour paint if you've got it. Doesn't really matter, it's your choice. It's a primary school or elementary school based activity, so not too difficult. You can follow along, pause the video, all that sort of stuff when you need to, and rewind it if you need to see something again. Having said that, let's get creative. Back here to get cracking. Here's my Sharpie. If you don't want to use a Sharpie, you don't have to, of course. You can always use a grey lead to do this first and then go over your line work later on with a Sharpie or something similar, like a black texture or something like that. So, remember what I was talking about? We are drawing a manatee today, or a dugong. Both very similar creatures. In fact, I'm not sure if they're called a manatee or dugongs in different hemispheres of the world, but they're very similar creatures. The cow of the sea, also known as. Now, I've got my page landscape to start, and then what we'll be doing is turning it to portrait. But we're going to keep it landscape just to do the actual number 3 to get started. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw that number 3, or write that number 3 right around about here, like this. The 2 parts of the number 3, just like that. Okay, so that's the first step in drawing our dugong or a manatee. So what I want to do now is turn my paper this way. Okay, so I've got my number 3 here, and remember you can go over this line work later on. So what we're doing is this. First of all, I'm going to draw 2 little beady eyes. Now I'm not going to fill those in yet, but here 1, and over here is number 2 with my little beady eyes. Okay, now I'm going to draw the top of the manatee's nose. These are like the cheeks on the manatee here. And then here is the top of the nose, which sort of just is a curved line like that. That's a curve. And then 2 little nostrils. 1, 2, just like that. Okay. Not massive nostrils because I need to close those off when they're underwater. Next is a little line just sort of curving out from over here and goes up to about the same level as this one. So just a little line that curves out there like that. Something like that. Okay, now another couple of lines. What we're doing here is just bringing a line from the bottom of this cheek down around up to over here. So we're going to start here, about sort of halfway-ish from this cheek, and bring that down and around and up, stopping about there. Okay, just like that. Then another little one down underneath here, curving down this way. Okay, so sort of about halfway here, a little curved line there, just like that. Cool. Now we're going to do the eyes. Let's fill the eyes in, and then we will put some little eyebrows above those eyes. Now I always like to leave a little reflection in the eyes, which is parts that we don't colour in. So one there, and then another one there, just like that, and then shade this part in and leave the window or the reflection in the eyes up top, just like that. You can see that's starting to look like a bit of a manatee head or a dugong's head. Now we need to draw a line that goes sort of, I'm just going to extend that through a little bit there, just something like that. And we can draw a line from here for the top of the dugong's head or the manatee's head and bring that right around over here, and that will finish probably about here, sort of in line with these lines here over there. So this is a tricky line you got to get right to make it look like a dugong's head. So what we do is we come up like this and curve it around there. So this is how it goes. Oh, let's do the eyebrows. Sorry, a couple of eyebrows. One little eyebrow and two little eyebrows, just there. Right, so top of the dugong's head, here we go. Now remember, if you're using grey lead, that's good, because if you don't get this right you can rub it out and have another go at it. So this sort of comes up a little bit straight and then curves over the top like that and stops about there. Now that's not a perfect line by any stretch of the imagination that I've done, but like I said, you can fix this up if you've done it in grey lead, or come back and fix it up with the marker that you've used. So a little roll on the back of the neck here, because they've got a bit of winter coat on them to keep them warm in cooler waters. So what we do is we just a little bit of flab here, I guess you call it, a little bit of flab line there, just like that. And then we're going to draw the back of the dugong coming down here, which is a long line, and that'll finish up probably around about here somewhere, about there, which will curve out from here. So let's do that. That's going to curve out from here, and it's a bit of a curved line that just comes right down and around like that. Okay, something like that anyway. So, and like I said, you can fix these lines up a bit later on. Now a flipper, we need to draw a flipper here, and also a couple of lines up here to sort of finish off the face a little bit here. So I want to have a line here and another line here like that to finish off the face a little bit there. Now my Sharpie's not real sharp. Being a Sharpie, it should be sharp, but it's not, because I've used this quite a few times. So my lines are not real thin. A little bit thinner lines would have been nice, but that will be okay. Okay, now down here, sort of coming down a little bit lower than this line, we want to have the flipper. Now the flipper comes out here, so starting about here, sort of closest to these lines for the bottom of the face there, or the side of the face, the manatee. I'm going to come down and around like that. That's the flipper there. Okay, cool, getting there. So all this from a number 3, incredible. Let's fix up my number 3 a little bit, and yeah, fix up a few of my lines. So that there is looking pretty good so far. So now what we're going to do is come here, draw a line down through here that comes sort of through the flipper a bit, and add some whiskers too. So we're going to add a couple of whiskers and this part of the body to round off the body here. So that sort of comes from sort of just a little bit of that line sticking out there. If you can see what I'm doing there, from about here, I'm going to come down through the flipper and just down a little bit past it here. This line here I could have actually Brought down a little bit further too. So bring this line down here like this, and then coming out as if you can imagine this line coming through the Manatee flipper, through its flipper here, just to there, just like that. Pretty simple. And then a couple of whiskers. Let's do some whiskers on this guy. So we've got 1, 2, 3 there, and 1, 2, 3 there. Cool. Now what about tail? A bit of a tail on this guy. That's going to come out like this. Sort of a different sort of shape to, well, it's probably a little bit like the killer whale tail that we did, but a little bit, a couple of differences as well. Let's just try and show you how to do that. So I'm going to leave some bits of this line here and there and start up a bit higher. So that's going to come out and around, up and back over there like that to make his tail. Make sure you leave those little bits of line there. Just adds to the effect of the tail, I guess, where the body's joining onto the tail. Yeah, there we go. Now, a couple of lines here to make it look like this flipper's attached to the body. So I'm going to do a line here, another line there, and another one here, and another one there, to make it look like that's sort of attached to the body. And then I'm going to do another flipper over on this side as well. That would be on the other side of the dugong or the Manatee's body. So over here we're going to do another sort of flipper shape out there, coming back up that way, and that looks pretty good, I would say. Now again, you can thicken up your lines to make this look a bit cooler, refine it somewhat, and also add some colour and a background if you wish. Background's always very cool to have for your amenity. Now they're sort of, can be greyish, light brownish. I'm going to do mine, I think I'm going to do mine a little bit bluish grey, and that will be the colours that I'm going to use, but I'm going to speed that up. I might just add a little bit of seaweed and stuff in the background. Okay, I hope you enjoy this activity with your little amenity, another sea creature that we've created this term. Okay, bye for now, girls and boys, and I'll see you again next time.
Flintart.